Clips and Tips, brought to you during Bike Month by Bike Law Canada and McLeish Orlando. Today's topic is bias and bias against cyclists. Does it exist? Absolutely. We do know from taking a look at studies like this Angus Reid poll that when the general public was asked about who causes conflicts between drivers and cyclists, the majority of respondents would blame the cyclist. And that blame would exist the more the person was older in age. So for instance, those 55 plus, when asked about conflicts between drivers and cyclists and whose fault it was, they would say 75% of the time it would be the cyclist's fault. Is this accurate or true? It is not. I know that because I did the coroner's review a number of years ago. We investigated 4 years of cycling deaths. We had all the information and we looked at the causes of those deaths. The vast majority of the causes of death were based on driver error. In fact, 62% of the cases would have resulted in a driver being charged with an illegal driving activity. So to suggest that the conflict is mostly caused by cyclists is inaccurate, but the bias exists. Do we have to be careful about this bias as cyclists? We do. And the reason being, if we are in a crash, the people that investigate the crash, the system where they're going to adjudicate the crash, the witnesses to the crash, they're all likely drivers of vehicles, and they could hold that bias. Therefore, it's really important to have your own internal investigation, that you document the scene properly, that you hire a lawyer that's going to employ engineers and have their own investigation done. It's the only way that you can really counteract bias at the initial stages. As well, during the case, you should acknowledge a bias exists and try to find ways of dealing with it through experts as your case proceeds. Hopefully you're not in a crash and you never need this advice, but if you do, just remember these points. Thanks.